I put the bag of food and a bottle of champagne in the refrigerator, and I tossed the shopping bag with my new sleepwear, sheer, lacy, and black, on the bed. "So, what got into you today?" Jim says on coming in from the terrace. "Not that I ever mind when you stay here with me. How long has it been?" "Can't even remember the last time. You have a good day?" "Nothing out of the ordinary. How come you're in town?" "Why don't you make yourself comfortable?" I say. "Then we'll talk." Jim's eyebrows knit in worry. "Everything okay?" "Entirely okay, I promise." He still looks tense. "Go change your clothes and I'll get the champagne," I say. "I recall a promise of food, too," he says. "I hope you brought some. I'm starving." "I've got it," I say. "You know me, Jim. I always keep my promises." We sit on one of the beige sofas. Jim pours champagne into 2 flute-shaped glasses. I ask him not to interrupt, to let me tell him everything before he speaks. He agrees. I begin with Andrew's phone call before the weekend, and I'm acutely aware of how, involuntarily, I am editing what I say. I hear myself talking, and I am watching Jim's face, and I know that no matter how prudently I choose my words, they are bound to unhinge him. I say nothing about my fantasies involving Andrew, not a word about the flood of memories that surged in my brain as I dressed that morning, as I drove to a hotel to meet my first love. I position the rendezvous as if I were talking about an appointment with one of my patients. Andrew sounded desperate and depressed, etc. I can't find the boundaries of truth. I don't know what I should be saying, not saying. The words keep coming, and I feel like a fraud. I can tell that it takes effort for Jim to keep his word and not speak until I am finished. He doesn't say anything, but his feelings register on his face. His jaw clenches. He squints as if he's trying to get me into focus. He sips from his glass every so often, but he never takes his eyes off me. I don't know what I was expecting, but this is agonizing. "Is that it?" Jim says. I nod. "I guess it was inevitable," he says. "What?" "That sooner or later you'd figure out a way to get Andrew in your life again." "Jim, he called me." "And you answered the call," he says. "I'll tell you something, Beth. I've felt for years that on some level, you have always been sorry that you didn't marry Andrew." "Oh, Jim," I thought, "I've never been sorry that I married you. I felt a longing for my youth, for the life I had before terrible things happened." My heart sank. "Andrew broke up with me," I say. "He didn't want to be married to me." "That doesn't say that you were really finished with him. In your head, I mean. As long as we're being honest here. We are being honest, aren't we, Beth? Tell me, weren't there times when you would have preferred to be with Andrew? Exciting, talented, bohemian Andrew? Instead of me, your dull businessman husband? The life you have with me must seem so pedestrian compared to living in a palazzo and traipsing through Italy with a musician." "I never compared you to him," I say. "I told you about Andrew when you and I first met. I've never talked about him since, and there's nothing dull about you or our life." "Doesn't mean you weren't thinking about him." "You know how much I loved being in Italy. I do think often about my life then, about Rome, and he was there. I can't change my history any more than you can change yours." "Andrew is no longer just historical. You were with him today." "And I've told you nothing happened." "You mean you didn't sleep with him? Did you want to?" "Not exactly. I wanted him to want me. I wanted to feel young and lighthearted again. For one afternoon, I wanted a man to look at me with a kind of desire that a husband of 3 decades can't possibly summon. It wasn't love, it was—" I took too long to respond. "Guess I've got my answer," Jim says. "And what was that little phone sex exercise with me this afternoon? Did you think you could come here tonight and seduce me into forgetting that you spent the afternoon with the man you wish you had married?" "I don't wish."